Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti. Hoping you guys are having a good night, and above all else, that you're looking after yourselves and one another. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the eighth day of the 12 albums of Christmas. I'm again joined by a mangled up Peter Cottontail with a cigar in his mouth, and otherwise known as Ken Cheshire. How's it going, Ken?
Going good. How about you?
Uh, Doing well until I saw that eye patch on your face.
Mom wanted me.
Okay. And we are also joined by Mr. Santa Claus, otherwise known as Jim Bricker. How's it going, Jim?
I'm doing very well, and I have a piece of advice for everyone. Drink more Ovaltine.
There you go. And for those of you who don't get that movie reference, well,
If the lamp and the pink bunny aren't a dead giveaway, I don't know. I don't know.
exactly. You had to be there. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, this is the eighth day of the 12 albums of Christmas. Now, each of us have put together a list of Christmas themed albums or Christmas albums that we, for whatever, for various reasons, sorry, have a fondness for these albums, whether, the albums are just good music or, they hold special memories for us. Um, I will say that, and I will say again, sorry, that we have agreed collectively that to be omitted off the list was a Charlie Brown Christmas, music done by Vince Guaraldi, uh, for the simple reason that it is a classic album. It is considered the Mount Olympus of albums in terms of Christmas music. And it's been on every freaking list known to mankind since its release. So we just thought, you know what, we'll go down a different path. We'll just leave that as a separate entity and as the masterpiece that it is. Thank you, Vince Guaraldi and Fantasy Records when it came out. And we'll carry on with our list without it. So as I look at my screen here, which one to pick? Hmm. My mother told me to pick you. No, we're going to go with Ken for this episode to give his choice. All right, Peter Cottontail.
All right. We're gonna visit Canada again from 1998. It's called A Big Band Christmas. And this is by Rob McConnell and the Boss Brass. Album was recorded on a fairly new lineup from Concord Jazz on the Concord Jazz label. It's not a very long album. It's only 11 tracks, but it's a collection of traditional Christmas carols and songs. Rob McConnell, if you're not familiar with him, he was a jazz trombonist and an excellent one too. Any of our watchers and old people like me watching from Canada may know exactly who he is. But he put together a traditional big band group. But what stands out is that he added more instruments to it. Plus, in addition to the regular big band lineup, he added French horns and a couple of more trumpets and a couple of more trombones. So the sound is much richer. It's much fuller. And then, of course, he fills it out with the saxes and the drums and the guitar and bass and whatever. So, instrumental brass Christmas music in a jazz style. And
I'm sold.
Concord at this time, they were recording direct to digital. So the sound is very clean. It's very full. It just, for a stereo recording, it sounds almost like it's quadraphonic or quadraphonic. One of
Hydrophonic.
those quad words, yeah. So
One of the quad words, yeah.
yeah, so the but yeah, if you like big band and jazz, as far as flavoring your Christmas music, Rob McConnell and the Boss Brass, the Big Band Christmas. Um, um, another, to me, that's another party album, you know. It's just big, full sounding. Yeah, it's a manly record.
And you saying that in that voice, in that outfit,
And
really
Oh,
nails it.
yes.
Really drives the point home, didn't it? All right.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Peter Cottontail. Up as you are. All right. Okay, Mr. Claus.
Okay, so my albums have been kind of following a thread, if not a specific theme, all the way through. This is the third of my albums with a female vocal lead. Last time we visited Sweden. Before that, we visited Ohio. Now we're visiting Tennessee. And this is an album. Um, and has all the feels of a great traditional Christmas album. Think Andy Williams, and you kind of got the vibe here.
Yeah.
This is the triple platinum 1992 release from Amy Grant called Home for Christmas. Now, Amy gets some slagging uh, because uh, people can't stand the song Baby Baby, which I totally understand. Um, B, she gets kind of put in the Christian artist ghetto, which, I understand why people would do that. But if you kind of remove those two things and just listen to this album as a package unto itself,
Mhm.
I'm telling you, this is Andy Williams territory in terms of classic Christmas albums. There's a full orchestra on many of the tracks. It's a mix of traditional Christmas tunes like Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, Winter Wonderland, I'll Be Home for Christmas. There's a couple of tracks that are just instrumental. And then there's, a smattering of other types of covers and original songs on there. There is a version of "Oh Come All Ye Faithful" on here, which is essentially a duet of Amy and Phil Keaggy on guitar. And if you know who Phil Keaggy is, I mean, he's another one of those, you know, hey Jimmy Page, who's your favorite guitarist? Oh, Phil Keaggy, things like that. Um, I say essentially a duet because there's like a children's choir in the background, and bits here and there. But really, this just has all the feels of a traditional Christmas album. You think about the stereotypical Christmas vibe of, the 60s or the 70s, and this album just slots right in there perfectly. I don't know anyone who doesn't like this record. And Amy's voice is just, we were talking a couple episodes ago about Alison Moyet and
Yeah.
what a beautiful ringing voice she has. Amy's voice is on this album like just as clean and perfect and piercing. It doesn't have like that. It has a different kind of fullness to it. Alison Moyet has her, you know, territory that she runs in. Amy runs in a different territory, but it's just as phenomenal style of singing.
Mhm.
So, yep, that is my choice for day 8 or day 5 or day 12 or wherever the heck we're at. It's Home for Christmas, Amy Grant. Boom. Ho, ho, ho.
Okay, mic drop. All right. Good choice. Good choice.
Santa goes boom.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, my pick for the 8th day of the 12 albums of Christmas. We are going with Jethro Tull and the Jethro Tull Christmas album, otherwise known as Fresh Snow at Christmas, which is being re-released on December the 6th of 2024. Now, I'm brand new to this album. Fantastic album. a mixture of Christmas, classics plus original compositions, and the Christmas covers have been arranged or rearranged, I should say, by Ian Anderson. Songs like, Birthday Card at Christmas, oh my goodness, A Christmas Song, the original, another Christmas song, originals. God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. Okay. There's also a version of Ring Out Solstice Bells from Songs from the Wood that he re-recorded for this album. He does a version of Green Sleeved, which is a take on Green Sleeves. Again, these are all arranged by Ian Anderson. Martin Barr also plays guitar on the album. It's a fantastic album. The reissue of the album is coming out again December 6th. It's a four or five disc reissue in this package. He does another version of Fire at Midnight from Songs from the Wood. Just amazing. The one caveat I do have is I forget which track it is, but he does a beautiful flute solo. I mean, in my opinion, Ian Anderson could play a flute like Jimi Hendrix doing a guitar solo. Just beautiful. But the one caveat I have is I think they could have edited it out. When he does his flute solo on this, whatever track it is, I forget, he ends up snorting into the mic so heavily that if you fell asleep listening to it, it's a beautiful piece of music. But if you fall asleep listening to it, you'll wake up because he snorted so heavily into the mic. Okay.
Well, now
they could have edited that out.
Yeah.
They could have done some digital editing on this. I'm sorry. It's 2003. Use the technology that's at your fingertips, for God's sake. But it's a beautiful album. His voice is still in good standing at this point. But yeah, it's just a phenomenal album. Snoring aside, okay. And again, if you guys want to pick up the reissue of the album, it is called Fresh Snow at Christmas, and it is coming out on vinyl and CD box set versions. It's done in the book format as the other albums are from the Jethro Tull catalog, and it is being released again December the 6th. So that is my pick for the 8th day of the 12 albums of Christmas. So hopefully, guys, we're having fun with these episodes. Okay. There's no rhyme or reason to them. Obviously, we have a rabbit with a mangled up face, on this episode. So we're just having a good time. So please put down there in the comments below your pick for the 8th day of the 12 albums of Christmas. Could be any genre, any album, no judgment, just good tidings and wishes for a fantastic Christmas. All right, guys. I want to thank Peter frickin' Cottontail for joining me on this adventure, and Mr. Claus, of course, Santa. And again, guys, have a good night. Have a good Christmas if you're spending it with family. If you're on your own, please be safe. And we will see you soon for episode of day 7, 7th day of 12 Albums of Christmas, right? Have a good night and look after yourselves. Take care. Bye for now.